You may now be seated.
The public interview for the position of Chief Justice is now open. Attorney Aracheta, please introduce the candidates to be interviewed today and administer the oath.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a public panel interview of candidates for the position of Supreme Court Chief Justice, Vice the retiring Honorable Lucas P. Bersamin. The panel of interviewers: Honorable Noel Jimenez Tiham, regular member representing the Academe. The Honorable Judge Toribio Ilaw Jr., regular member representing the private sector. And Honorable Judge Franklin de Monteverde, regular member representing the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Your Honors, for interview this morning are the following: Justice Diosdado M. Peralta and Justice Jose Reyes Jr. May I request you to raise your right hand for the oath? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this public panel interview by the Judicial and Bar Council? Yes, I do. So help you God. Your Honors, the first for interview will be Justice Peralta. May I request Justice Reyes to stay in the holding room while the interview of Justice Peralta is being conducted?
Good morning, Justice Peralta. Thank you for coming for the interview. We are complying with the constitutional process of nominating and selecting the candidate, the nominee for Chief Justice. This is a constitutional process exercised practically all over the world, including the United States. The first to interview you is Judge Franklin de Monteverde, regular member representing the IBP.
Thank you, Justice Tiham. Morning, Justice Peralta.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. I was going over your records, and you are now 67 years old.
That's correct, Your
And
Honor.
in 2.5 years, you will be retiring.
Yes, yes.
Now, in that span of time, assuming that you will be appointed as the Chief Justice, what will be the future of the judiciary under your watch?
I think it will be much better, Your Honor.
How better will it be?
Well, I have some programs to be implemented for the next 2.5 years. If I may be allowed,
go ahead.
I may be allowed to read them because I enumerated them. Then may I, Your Honor?
Go ahead, please.
Number one is that we will try to eliminate backlog in the Supreme Court and all other courts. We have to start from our home and lead by example. Introduce timelines for the resolution of motions and other case incidents as we have done in the lower courts. Continue and improve the filtering system we are presently adopting or implementing in the Supreme Court. Automate court processes and incorporate court technology. Focus on skills-based training for judges and court personnel, like what we have been doing in continuous trial in criminal cases. Also in small claim cases, likewise in plea bargaining cases, and also oral sentencing in plea bargaining cases and also in plea of guilty to the crime. Continue weeding out misfits from the judiciary. Monitor performance in all courts. Improve procurement bidding, because this has been the perennial problem, Your Honor, especially those courts outside of Metro Manila. Then we will try to strengthen the Office of the Court Administrator. We will implement the Judiciary Integrity Board, which we have already approved, and harmonize its functions with the functions of the Office of the Court Administrator. Then continue to revise the rules of courts, Your Honor. These are some of the projects, to me, these are the projects that should be implemented if I be given the chance to serve as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Your Honor.
Thank you, Justice Peralta. Now, in my years of practice as a judge, one of the reasons that we have had a backlog of cases was the failure of our criminal cases to go on regularly, meaning from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
In our province before, we have a docket criminal cases running to about 80 to 82% of the court. And because of lack of prosecutors and PAO lawyers, we only, instead of holding 5 hearings a week, we only hear one time. So does your program include a dialogue between between the Department of Justice and
In
the
fact,
Supreme Court?
in fact, Your Honor, there's now a program of this Justice Zone in the Supreme Court. It is a coordination between the three branches of government, or 2 branches of government, the Office of the Secretary of the Department of Local Government to take care of policemen or witnesses from the National Police. We have also the Secretary of the Department of Justice, takes care of those prosecutors and probably PAO lawyers also, and probably witnesses from the National Bureau of Investigation, and then the Supreme Court. Now, these are problems that are now being addressed by the Justice Zone. And if you allow me, Your Honor, probably if you have retired in 2011, I think, we implemented the continuous trial in 2017, no?
Yeah.
And if you look at the book or the performance of the Supreme Court that we submitted to Congress for purposes of defending the budget, you will see there the improvement of the resolution of criminal cases.
Justice Peralta, when I was president of the Philippine Judges Association, I brought this matter up before then Chief Justice Sereno. The delay in the hearing of criminal cases. And true to form, in one of the sessions, in one of the fora, she was able to bring out the problem. But from there on, nothing has been done about it.
Yeah.
So I hope that under your watch, you can help us on this.
If you allow me, Your Honor, just to answer your question
Yeah.
and then to be precise with my answer, we implemented a continuous trial of criminal cases effective September 1 of 2017. And that program has been ongoing for the past 2 years. Now, we have a data, if you allow me, because this is a data that was submitted to the Congress to defend our budget. You will see there how we have been performing by reason of continuous trial. In the data that I will discuss this afternoon on my metropolitan lecture, the data shows that 94% of the cases that underwent the continuous trial were decided within the 10-month period. And then in drug cases, because they have a different period, 40% of the cases were decided within 75 days. And then if you use the 10-month period for drug cases to be resolved, it